Before we begin, drop a quick hi in the comments. It might seem small, but trust me, it helps YouTube share this story with more sci-fi fans like us. I'd love to see who's watching. A ripple tore through the ionosphere, an abrupt, low-frequency tremor that struck orbital instruments milliseconds before the sky over the southern hemisphere dimmed. Civilian satellites realigned with jittery precision, tripping into fail-safe protocols. Weather systems scrambled. Then came the shadow. The Dotharn's will emerged without warning. Obsidian hull plating wrapped in shifting blue glyphs, a titanic construct wider than any Earth city. Moving like a mountain pushed by unseen hands, it cast its presence across the Indian Ocean sky, entering low orbit with no clearance, no protocol, no warning. No flare of arrival, just arrival. In Sydney, traffic stopped mid-intersection. In Johannesburg, schoolchildren stared upward through playground windows. Across islands, deserts, coasts, and oceanic territories, the light faded, and silence spread. Then, every broadcast channel on Earth, analog, digital, military, private, encrypted, was overwritten.
On the bridge of the Dotharn's will, Grain executive Violent Tissar stood as still as iron. Tall, skeletal in shape, wrapped in segmented black carapace that shimmered faintly with internal heat. The elongated skull and amber crystal eyes of his species, the Rakvik, were motionless. Eyes like carved glass, sharp and hollow. To his left stood High Diplomat Jurin Nell of the Volari, clad in layered ceremonial cloths interwoven with silver thread, tall boots laced to her hips, and a circlet of white metal shaped like thorned vines curled around her crested temples. She blinked slowly, chin tilted upward, the subtle curl of her lip betraying satisfaction before the message began. Valen's voice, heavy with ritual and the weight of a 3-millennia empire, rolled out over the transmission with deliberate cadence. This message is issued on behalf of the eternal dynast of the Zorak Dominion and the Starfold Accord. Humanity shall now be integrated into the order of stellar governance. Tribute will be expected, infrastructure will be corrected. Subjection is peace. The camera slowly widened, revealing behind him a long arc of subordinate officers, alien species of varying physiologies, some plated in iridescent exoskeletons, others thin and translucent with cranial augmentations and twin mouths. They all wore the black and gold of Imperial Command, the shared uniform that erased their origin and bound them in a single will. The broadcast ended. In Brasilia, Paris, Chicago, Kyoto, and Nairobi, chaos spread like fire. Emergency broadcasts fought for airtime against the now looping imperial decree. Families crowded around smart walls, handhelds, visor feeds. Analysts speculated in real time. Was this a hoax? A simulation? A test? No one answered. But someone already knew. 5 kilometers beneath the Himalayan crust, in a sealed structure known only as Arabo Base, the message finished playing on a holographic display with no sound. The room remained silent for a moment. No one moved. No one panicked.
The table's holographic projection showed a precise 3D model of the Dotharn's will, rendered in real time. Its trajectory marked, gravitational distortion plotted, mass ratios pulsing in blue. A secondary screen had already finished parsing the alien dialect, tagging syntax structures and cataloging idiomatic markers. The system flagged it as rehearsed ritual speak, cross-compatible with 3 prior annexation events. Major Noah Phelan stood with arms crossed, observing satellite telemetry pulsing from orbital points along the equator. "They bypassed the outer relay nets," he said, voice even. "Military satellites picked up the shear 15 seconds before the blackout. Gravitational distortion consistent with D-class mass entry. They never blinked on approach." "Overconfident," Miko muttered, eyes still fixed on her display. Dr. Miko Tanaka was perched on the edge of the secondary control station, one boot up on the base of her stool, chewing on dried mango. Her long black hair was tied into a rough braid, sleeves rolled to the elbows. Streams of data reflected in her glasses. She pointed lazily at a rotating scan of the Dothan's power profile. "That hull plating is trying so hard to look impressive," she said. "Still bleeding heat through its aft nodes, and look, sensor washes, hold on, yep, they're using cascade beam transponders, vintage." Fillion smirked. "They brought a throne ship, a monument dressed like a weapon." At the head of the room, Commander Otto Bertrand said nothing. He was staring at the projection with the kind of stillness that made others lower their voices. Tall, shoulders squared, short silver hair clean against his temples, his uniform black and unmarked save for a single silver line at the collar. A low chime sounded. A console updated with pulse returns from deep orbit. Bertrand's eyes didn't move, but his voice cut clean through the room. "Code Omega is in effect." Fillion immediately keyed his terminal. "Ghost grid coming online. Global defense clusters initiating blackout. Strategic assets vanishing from open scans." Now, in NORAD, an operator blinked as 10 strategic orbital signatures vanished from his interface. He tapped twice, rebooted, nothing. In Moscow, Aerospace Command's alert screens shifted to static. In Tel Aviv, a general simply stood, muttering, "They're gone." In an instant, dozens of command centers across the globe dimmed into obscurity. Optical arrays in Earth's orbit began reorientation protocols.
Long-range communication relays silently shifted into quantum-locked transmission modes. Not a single move was visible to the public.
It wasn't a battle stance. It was presumption. They think we're ornamental. Miko said. Philin leaned on the table with both hands. Do we confirm visual presence? Bertrand turned toward the control console and keyed in a direct access line. Confirm all civilian broadcast vectors are being monitored, he said. But do not engage. Let the show play out. They really think we're farmers with radios. He exhaled. Let's remind them what kind of farmers we are. As the Imperial broadcast looped across Earth's public networks, the Dothan's Will initiated its first maneuver, dispatching a diplomatic vessel toward the planet's surface. Their assumption was clear. The next step would be submission. End of part 1. Hey there, space human. Drop a quick comment. Let me know your thoughts or just say hi. And don't forget to check the pinned comment for something important. See you in the next one.